from Columbus, Ohio, this is the Get Business Credit YouTube channel with your host, Josh Van Horn. Subscribe now and hit the bell notification right now to stay up to date as soon as we release new business credit gems. Take it over, Josh.
Hey, what's up? It's Josh with the Get Business Credit YouTube channel. Today we have two special guests from Corpay Fleetcor, Corpay One, long-awaited interview. We have the top executives from Corpay with us today. So Justin and Blake's going to show us the back-end demo and answer any questions you guys may have from the past videos. So without further ado, Justin and Blake, I'll let you guys take it over and introduce yourself and a little bit behind how Corpay became part of Fleetcor.
Perfect. Well, Josh, thank you so much. We're excited to be here. Thanks for having us on the show. We're excited to spend a few minutes with everyone today going over a little bit about Corpay One and our product. So we'll try and give you the story of the business and what we wake up and do every day, and then also show you the product. So we're really excited to do that. I've got Blake here with me, and we both work for Corpay One. My particular role is I'm our head of direct sales at Corpay One and Vice President of Strategy. So right now we're growing our business and work on a lot of things related to how we grow it. So Blake, over to you.
Yeah, awesome. Excited to be here, Josh. And just like Justin said, I work for Corpay One in a strategic growth capacity, and I manage our strategic sales team and some of our outbound sales efforts. Prior to Corpay One, worked with the company formerly known as Roger AI, which we're going to get to see in a little bit here as Justin demos.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. We don't want to waste anybody's time, so I'm just going to let Justin get right into it. A lot of you guys may have already got approved for the Corpay One card, the MasterCard, or started using their bill pay system. So that's what we're going to kind of go over today. For those that haven't yet pulled the trigger, hopefully we can answer those questions today or clarify things for you. So like I said, Justin, take it over. I guess showing the demo or any points that you want to touch up on.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll spend just a few minutes going over a little bit about Corpay One and a little bit about why we're building this product and who we're building it for. So real quick, I've been at Fleetcor for almost 4 years now, and I started in our fuel cards group. So a lot of I think your audience, Josh, has only known Fleetcor through our fuel cards. And when I was there, one of the biggest questions and one of the biggest pain points that we were able to solve for those customers was a controlled card for business. We've really spent a lot of time developing amazing products, particularly card products for small business. But the question always came back, hey, can we ever buy something, or can we ever see products from Fleetcor that are more than just fuel cards? So that's always been a question that we've been trying to answer. And Corpay One is effectively our answer for that. And what I mean by that is we spent the better part of the last couple of years figuring out how we provide value to small and medium-sized businesses beyond just a fuel card. So common questions for us would be, hey, can we use products from Fleetcor for more than just fuel? Yes is the answer, and I'm going to show you how. But an even more common question is, well, what about all of my expenses that I don't put on cards? Is there any product here that can help me with my, just call it like accounts payable, or all the bills that I have to pay that don't go on a card? And so we spent the last couple of years really crafting a product and a strategy for getting it out there for just those use cases. So I'm really happy about the direction we're headed at Fleetcor, which is to provide small to medium-sized businesses with way more than just fuel cards. And Corpay One is that product. But just to remind yourself about who you're doing business with, Corpay One is a brand, one of our newest brands and most exciting and innovative brands. but you still do business with Fleetcor, and that carries with it the credentials of being an S&P 500 company. We have hundreds of thousands of small business customers that use our services today with bank grade security. So although it's a relatively new brand, it's really built on rock solid, decades long, tenure in this space. So we're really excited to bring the best products together into one. And I thought I'd also spend a few seconds on who is this for, what is it, and what is it not. So, this product, Corpay One, who's it for? The only hard boundaries we really have at the moment are, for your audience, Josh, US-based businesses. So we operate out of the US, but beyond that, there are no hard boundaries, right? So we have customers that are sole props, single family businesses, all the way up to businesses with hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. So where we compete the most, what I'd say is when you've got a couple of employees, 5, 10, 15, 20 bills a month, we really have some features of this product that are aimed at you. So if you are watching this and you've got more than just yourself or more than a couple of bills, we can work with you. But if you've got more, we've really got a product that I'm excited to show you. So what is it? Right? I've spent a lot of time saying like the payments platform. So what is it? So we built a payments platform focused on providing best-in-class accounts payable and business cards. So beyond just fuel cards, we want to wake up and help small and medium-sized businesses manage and streamline their accounts payable and all of their card spend. What is it not? We are not a payroll company, receivables company, bank account. We mostly play in the payments and accounts payable and card space. That could potentially expand, but you should think of us as a payments platform focused on SMBs. And why should you care, right? There's a lot of products in this market. Credit cards aren't new. So we've really tried to stitch together a product focused on improving your cash flow, one, saving you very material amounts of time, and I'll get into how we do that, putting money back in your pocket, like real money back in your pocket, and for your audience in particular as well, I think another value prop is building credit. So I really want to hit on how we do some of those things with you today. And instead of me talking the whole time, from here, I want to show you a little bit of how this works. So Josh, thanks for letting me go on hopefully not more than a few minutes of table setting, but
no problem.
Without further ado, I will share my screen here and show you the product and hit the high points of what this thing is and why we're so excited about it. All right, let me know when this pops up. I see it on my own screen, so I might assume that the audience viewers can see it on their screen.
Yep.
Okay, so like I mentioned, there's a couple of things happening here, right? There's two worlds mixing into one product that are traditionally separate today, right? There's the platform that I order, manage, and pay my cards, and then there's historically another place where I manage my invoices, my bills, right, and all the bookkeeping that surrounds accounts payable. So we've really kind of used the mantra "better together" on this thing. So why can't we have a product that takes a lot of legacy tools and systems and bring them into one beautiful, simple platform where I manage all of my spend from? So I've got my demo account here today, but instead of clicking around all over the place, let me spend just a few seconds on the Corpay card. So I'm gonna go to our card experience first and walk you through what that is. So very quick table setting. It's very easy to apply for the Corpay card. So in my account, we've got them already. the application process, which I'll get to, is you just sign up. You go to you just use Josh's link, sign up for Corpay One. It takes a couple of minutes and apply from there. So once you've applied and hopefully been approved, let me get into the card experience. So here is an easy way to think of cards. I can own and manage and order cards all from one spot. And so I'm even going to drop a feature release coming very soon, likely within the next 2 weeks, where we can really talk about interesting use cases. So let's pretend Blake and I work for Josh. Right? Josh is the business owner, and he wants a card program that's tailored differently for different employees. So, like our fuel cards, controls are important, right? Maybe I'm a new employee, and you only want to entrust me with spending at particular locations. Let's take gas stations or Home Depot for job supplies or something like that. But Blake is a more tenured employee, and he travels. He's our traveling business development lead, and he needs to buy plane tickets and hotel rooms and take folks like Josh on nice dinners to talk about business. So how do we traditionally enable that conversation? A lot of cards today don't let you do that, or it's a very complex process to do it, or you have to be an enterprise to do that. So we've woken up and said, why don't we equip? Why can't we approach small businesses with that conversation? So let's just take, for example, I've got these 6 cards here. I've got 6 employees, and let's go to Brigham. Brigham's a nice guy. And what we do with our customers with these cards is we try and say, hey, would you like to put a card in everyone's hands, but you set the rules, right? Anybody who might need to spend company money, would you like to put a controlled purchasing device in their hands so they can do that without friction, and you also get to sleep at night without worrying that they're spending on the wrong things? Because ultimately, this is the business's card, it's the business's money, right? So rolling out in the next couple of weeks, we are bringing Fleetcor's best-in-class controls to cards. And so this is a preview of that, where Brigham's a driver. I can turn his card on and off. Very easy in real time. Hey, Brigham's gone on vacation, or maybe Brigham chooses another occupation. I'll just turn his card off, right? We'll deactivate it. But what if Brigham needs, maybe for this week to go, instead of, let's just say he wants to be on fuel only. I can change this to a fuel only card, right? We have fuel cards in here now. But let's see, maybe he's taking a new job like Blake. Maybe we want him to be able to do travel and expenses, right? I want to be able to pay for a hotel room or something. Okay, we can click that button, and we in real time change the controls on this card. Or maybe Josh, the business owner, says, hey, I'm entrusting you, Brigham. I kind of trust you. I know you got to spend on a lot of things. This thing is open to all. Anywhere MasterCards are accepted. So we can set these controls by category. We can set spend limits, right? Let's just say, hey, Josh says, all right, well, hey, Justin, I trust you to, have an open to all card, but maybe I want to set a limit for, $500 a month, $100 a week, something, right? We can do those too. And what's really nice is all of these controls are surrounded by a beautiful way to view transactions. You can see the card spend over time, and back to this whole thing. You can manage each and every card in just the way that you want to, right? With all of the controls behind it. So we think, for one, for cards, this is a really differentiated experience that we're really, really excited about. Particularly all of the controls and how it's real time. We've seen a lot of demand for this, and we're really excited to release it. So that's really one. And ordering cards is very, very quick and easy as well. So that's kind of the preview of the card pitch. But I think, Josh, to talk to your audience a little bit more, I'm sure there are going to be questions around, well, hey, what are the terms? How are the lines? How do we apply? What are the rebates? Right. And what are some other surround sound pieces of information for the card? So let me go through those for a second. Let's talk about the ways that we enable small business to have better cash flow. So one is the terms that we offer on this card. So every application, every Corpay card today comes with 30-day statements with 21 days to pay. So another way to think of that is, right, monthly terms net 21, but up to 51 days to pay. Right, we are not a revolving credit card, so we don't have APRs where you can continually roll over balances, but we do have the cash flow benefits of 51 days to pay out of the box. Two is the rebates. So we're really excited about the way the rebate is structured on this card, which is up to 1.5% back. And you get 1.5% back on your card transactions if you use our product for not only the cards, but also for bill pay. So I'll get into that in a second. If you do not want to use our product for more than just the card, then it's 1% back. So it's a 1% back on effectively everything. Right, there are a few new disclaimers there, but otherwise it's 1% back on everything, 1.5% back on everything if you use our bill pay service. So we're really excited about the ability to go to market with a 1.5% back rebate structure. And the other really interesting use case that we've built in the last year, say, is the ability to use a card for more than you might think. So a very common question I always got back in the fuel card world was, hey, what happens if I want to use my credit line and pay a vendor who doesn't take card? Is there any solution for something like that? And largely the answer has historically been no. If they don't accept card, you've got to pay them a different way. You can't use your card to pay them. So we looked at that problem and said, there's a better way. There is a way we can do this. So we've effectively built a way for you to send checks and ACHs or bank transfers to your vendors using your credit line as the funding source. So a really innovative conversation that we get to have where customers come to us and say, hey, I've got things like rent or insurance bills or large supplier payments. I've even heard, it's about tax time. Hey, can I put my taxes on something like this? And so some of those conversations are more complex than others, but effectively we have a way in which you can send checks and ACHs to whoever you want using your credit card as a funding source. There is a fee for that. So we do have a 2.9% fee on that transaction to send a check or an ACH, but that also gets offset with your 1.5% cash back if you're using us for bill pay. So we really love that conversation. There's a lot of businesses that get a lot of value out of the cash flow benefits of certain things like that. And we can go deeper on a few of those cases, maybe on a follow-up call, Josh. But from a credit building conversation, like, hey, how does the credit reporting work on this card? When you apply, we do a hard pull on both the business and the person, and we do require personal guarantees. So reason for that is we want to be able to offer cards to companies who still maybe just starting out, still building their credit. And when we do these hard pulls and personal guarantees, it allows us to offer this product that we're really proud of to more folks than we otherwise would. And then in terms of who do we report to build credit, we report to all the major commercial bureaus, Equifax, D&B, and Experian Commercial. And another question that I'd have too, if I were in the audience, would be, hey, what do you pull on my personal? Like, who do you use for my personal? We use Experian Consumer. So that's a little bit about the high level of the card and kind of the upfront application. we're really excited about it, Josh. We're seeing a lot of great, really a lot of great sales on this already, and it makes sense to maybe thank your viewers in an interesting way. We soft launched this card back in the summer of 2021, and your viewers, as well as a few other channels, not particularly like YouTube, but a few other places came in, and we had an overwhelming response for this product. One that actually shut down our test for a couple of months. We saw a few pilot processes that were not like enterprise grade automated. So it was a very happy problem, and we're really excited to launch this in a much more robust way that more people and really unlimited people can apply, get a decision most of the time instantly, and have their cards and start really getting the value of controls, credit, building credit, and this cash, this rebate immediately. So we're really excited. The roadmap on this product is a mile long from here. We have a lot of cool things being worked on and soon to be delivered. But that's effectively our card pitch and what we're really excited to bring to the product. So Josh, if it's not too much time, I also want to quickly hit on the bill pay side and why these things are better together. And then we can maybe leave the audience with next steps and how to apply if they're interested. So for everyone, back to the beginning of this story, when we bought the company Roger.ai, we saw the product and the team and thought that this is best in class. Like if there was ever a product that we could, kind of just like imagine for how to help small businesses with that question of, can you help me with more than just my card expenses? This was our answer. It was like, yes, they have figured it out. And our strategy with this acquisition was, hey, let's continue what Roger.ai has already been doing and bring the card into the mix. So we're so excited that we've been successful in that. And I want to make sure that the bill pay or accounts payable value prop is really clear to folks, because it's one where we save tons and tons of time for businesses so they can get back to their missions. Very few times do people want to spend more time managing payments. We know that. We have a whole business geared for that. And we also save some real money for these businesses, and I'll get to that in a minute. So let's talk about the day-to-day of the audience's businesses, right? We when folks come to us, we start with questions like, how does the payments process even begin at the company? Like, how do you know who to pay and for what amounts? And we get a lot of answers like, well, we get invoices from all over, right? I get invoices sent to me. I get invoices sent to Blake. Sometimes a vendor will send a paper invoice to the office, and it's a little bit like cat herding, trying to get everything into one place. And so we start the journey there. Hey, would it make sense for us to try and help you with not only getting all of these things into one spot, but really deliver a lot of magic once it's here? And that starts a good conversation. So really what this side of the product is doing is trying to really modernize the small business way of handling accounts payable. So starting with how do you get things into the system? Let's take this one. Hey, I paid 50 bills a month, right? Let's just say in this example, I paid 50 bills a month. I get one from a company called Dialpad. There's some free marketing for Dialpad. So they send me an invoice, and I forward it. I forward it to my Corpay One account. So that might have some head scratchers. What's that mean? We create a custom email for each account. So when you sign up for Corpay One, we create an email that you can just forward invoices, bills, receipts to. Anything that you need to pay, you forward it to us. And from there, the magic really starts to happen. So I've forwarded this over, and here's my invoice, right? Very traditional looking invoice. And what do we do from there? All right, so customer, what happens without a tool like this? Okay, well, I do a couple of things, is what we usually hear. One, go to the right person to make sure it's the right amount and it's for the right things, right? It's my money that I'm spending, so I want to make sure we get some approvals around it. Okay? And then what we also hear is, well, someone in finance typically takes these and puts it into something like QuickBooks, because they've got to code their expenses. We need good financial statements for many different reasons. But somebody is manually typing these things in. And then we get to, okay, what happens if you know it's the right amount and somebody puts it into QuickBooks? Oh, well, we kind of fumble around with maybe a bank account bank transfer, right? I log into my bank and I send them some money. Or very frequently, we continue to hear, well, I have a check printer. Right? I print my own checks, or I write my own checks, and I stuff envelopes and lick stamps and I put them in the post office. So we wake up and say, hey, there's a lot of value that we can add to that equation. And so I'll quickly hit on that for a second, which is, once things come into the system, one, we scan everything for you. We take everything that's important off of that document and make it digital. So the way to think about that is, hey, here's my invoice. I have done nothing on the right. So, hey, our program, our platform will recognize, hey, this is a bill. It was issued on this date. It's due on this date. Hey, to make the payment, right? For now, I know this is the way I pay this one. I pay this one on ACH. Hey, if you need to make sure this payment's there by the due date, we need to initiate it on this date. Here's its number. Here's the amount. And we can start to pick our spend, like our payment source. Hey, what do you want to pay this out of? Bank account, card. And I left this blank so I could really voice over that QuickBooks comment. So I'm integrated in real time to QuickBooks. We have a few of these accounting systems that we integrate to in real time, and there's a lot of magic that happens. So, hey, maybe Blake runs accounts payable, and this is what Blake types into QuickBooks every invoice, and he picks all of these categories, or he codes them himself manually each time. So this is what this looks like. Hey, I'm literally just clicking stuff. And so the power of our platform is we can automate all of that. So anytime something comes in, we take all the documents information, we put it into QuickBooks, and we can make sure that these are automated. So all the coding, if you want it, will be automated. So, hey, anytime something from Dialpad comes in, code it to this category, put it on this department, use this payment account, right? Add it to this class for customers' projects. I can go into all the details, but effectively this gets filled out for you. So that right there, to pause, is where you save a lot of hours. Once we unpack that with customers, like how much time do you spend in this situation, and how many people have to be involved? It quickly becomes one where, oh yeah, there's actually a good amount of material time that you can get back to doing other things. So the better part too, the way we start to save money in addition to time is, hey, we make the payments for you. So no more getting onto some clunky bank account system and trying to send money one way. No more, messing around with a check printer, licking envelopes, licking stamps. No more of that, right? If you have international payments, we can also handle international wires. So we've really got a one-stop shop that makes your payments for you. And the best news is, for domestic checks and ACHs, which is the vast majority of small business payments, we do those for free. So anytime you connect a bank account and fund payments from a bank account and want to send ACHs and checks, all free. We do that at no charge. There are a few things where we charge for, like I mentioned, if you want to use your credit card as a funding source, or if you want to send international wires. But they're very few and far between on things that we charge for. We really wake up and want to provide a best-in-class service and not have a lot of fees to talk about. The ways we make money are traditionally through cards. So if you use our cards, we make money. And two, there's a few other really interesting ways that we provide value to your ecosystem. So I've talked about checks, and I've talked about ACHs, I've talked about international wires. We have a really unique program around virtual cards that your vendors really enjoy. So this will be the last thing that I say on bill pay, and then we can get over to how to get started and learn more. But let's just say, hey, you pay your vendors by checks or ACHs. We know sometimes checks take a while to get through the mail. We have an amazing product for your vendors where if they want a faster payment at no charge to you, we can send them a one-time use virtual card. And they can run that virtual card for your amount, and you can get them payment faster at no charge to you. So we've just got an amazing product. I'm really proud of it. I'm really excited about it. And so, the way that we like to say is, hey, it's all better together, right? There's a place to get your accounts payable, managed, simplified, and streamlined. And there's a best-in-class small business card platform all in one, right? And we have dashboards, we have reporting, all of these things that come with it. And if I haven't made it very clear, there's not a lot of fees for this. Actually, there are really no monthly or annual fees. There are no contracts. If you use Josh's link, you can sign up today, be in the product in a minute or two, apply for the card, get your decision, and there's no contract. There's no monthly fees. There's really nothing like that. And even better, someone on our team, an actual human being, will reach out to you to help you set up your account, familiarize with the platform, and get started. So that's my pitch, Josh.
Yeah, before show the application process or whatever, a few things I wanted to point out. Some feedback I've got, and I've told these different viewers of mine, and it's been probably the number one issue of people applying, and they have good personal credit, so that can't be the issue why they're getting declined, and they've been in business for several years, but something on, I guess, Corpay system or Fleetcor system saying they're unable to verify the business. That's probably the number one thing, but they've already have cards and well established. So I don't know if that's something that, if anybody is having that problem, you guys can email me and then we can pass it over to you guys, or to further review it, or what. But we've had that was something that's been brought up to my attention quite a bit. So I know things are still getting worked out and everything.
Yeah, it's a great call out. And one, I'd just say, there are lots of things we look at when making a credit decision. So I would just say, hey, if it feels like the app has been, if there's no reason jumping out at you, or I can't commit to, we'll review it, and I can't commit to anything. But if you have questions, email Josh, and we can take second looks. And okay. I think, the other way to think of it too is our underwriting decisions and our credit decisions are, still like a couple months old. So we're really finding, things that might be, declining, that we might not want to decline, or approving. So there's still a lot of knobs, I'm sure, that are being tuned, as it always is what I'd say. All right. I don't work in credit, and I don't work in all these departments, but I do know as the world changes, as all these things change, a lot of how we make decisions have to adapt. And I think what your audience can wake up and rest assured of is we're doing everything in our power possible to be the most business friendly for even the smallest of customers. So
right. I mean, for the viewers, I mean, Justin and Blake, I've been speaking with them, I think, ever since I got my approval, and that was, I want to say, right when you guys launched or whatever. And you guys didn't have this. You guys were in that beginning phase. You had the old dashboard that you guys use for the gas cards, for the different Fleetcor gas cards. So you guys have came a long ways and have a nice, easy to use dashboard and everything. So any questions that you guys may have, be sure to put the question in the comment section, because Blake, Justin, myself will be reviewing that. Also, you can email support at joshvanhorn.com. Again, that's support at joshvanhorn.com, or help at vanhornmarketing.com. Again, that's help at vanhornmarketing.com. And just let me know what question or what the issue may be, and we can pass this over to the Corpay team and hopefully get it resolved one way or another for you. But back to what Justin was saying. So essentially you're saying, Justin, you can take, if you're approved, say for the Corpay card, right? And I get an invoice and it's like a net 30 account for Best Buy Business. They email that invoice. I can essentially upload that right into the Corpay One dashboard. And then the section you had there, if you can go back to that bill pay section where it showed the invoice, like message to beneficiary, just so people know. There was one section there that said the
just on the payment tab over, 2 tabs over. Like that one.
Got it.
Yeah, so that message, because some people may be wanting to know, well, how will they know it's going to the right account or who it's being credited to? Well, that it says message to beneficiary. That's how they're going to know, because the invoice is the same invoice number you'll see up there for that dial pad invoice. A lot of these cards and stuff, a lot of my viewers have, say the JCPenney's commercial card. You know, it's the same thing. Not only that, one thing I get a lot of feedback on is a lot of my viewers, they don't have as many as I have, but Fleetcor cards, for instance, you know, all these Fleetcor cards, instead of going into all those, you can just download the invoice, correct? Even though it's still Fleetcor, Corpay, but you could essentially pay them all in under one dashboard. And then at the end of the year, you're going to have a much cheaper tax bill, at least in my case, because you're compiling it all together easier for your tax accountant to make it easier, for them to go through, instead of just giving them a 10-inch stack of receipts and invoices and things like that. Correct? Because since it integrates with QuickBooks.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd say there, Josh, is from a Fleetcor perspective, we still very much recommend that you pay your Fleetcor cards in your Fleetcor portal designed for that card. So okay. I would actually not give the instruction to try and get the invoice in here and send the payment back. I'm not saying it won't work, but what I'm saying is it's a much cleaner experience that, when you just pay your bill on the product that you've already been.
Gotcha. Especially since if some of them have, some of these trucking companies, they may have 3 or 4 different cards.
I would not want to disrupt, I just wouldn't want to disrupt the very smooth operations that folks have already probably set up for themselves.
Right.
Using this. So I would only try and pay the Corpay card statement that will automatically come in here. But I guess to say that, if you've got other credit cards that aren't issued by Fleetcor, feel free.
Right. Uline or your Quill, they only require ACH if it's a net 30. So I mean, a lot of that is kind of a pain in the butt when if you get a net 30 account with a lot of these different accounts, you can no longer use credit cards. They require either check or ACH only. And, you're saying you can actually connect credit cards, your bank account, and or your Corpay credit line essentially to that. So then you just have that one bill every month as much as possible for those different bills.
Yeah, and I'll just to make it real, Josh. So hey, in this account, we've got a bank account that we've connected. It takes seconds to do this, by the way. We've got a bank account that we can use to send payments, and we've got our Corpay MasterCard here to fund payments as well. So as we want to, let's just say, hey, this dial pad invoice, I want to pay that through my checking account. Great. I'm going to use my spend everyday spending checking account, and that'll be for free. I'm going to send that ACH for free. Or, hey, I actually want to put this on my credit line and get the the benefits of my term and my cash flow, we can put that on the card for the 2.9% and get my 1.5% back on my next statement. So it's
So
really,
it's like 1.4% after the next statement, getting that statement credit back. And you guys didn't have that a couple months ago. I know you were saying you guys were working on being able to add that on there, so that's nice. Maybe if you can just go over the before I forget, like some of my viewers just this week, that last Corpay video I did, we got a few people saying they did not get a hard inquiry, but they have a few other Corpay cards. So could that be the reason why they didn't get a hard inquiry? Because they already have existing relationship with Fleetcor. I just want to let everybody know, just like I did in the last video, made it clear that it is a personal guarantee no matter what. But I have noticed people saying that they've got soft pulled on their personal Experian, and they didn't know why. I said the only thing I could think of is they already have pre-existing relationships, either Fuelman, Universal Premium, or one of the other cards, and it's already, your credit department already knows that. So, and I know you don't work in the credit department, so there's only so much you can say about that. I just want to let everybody know that's why you may or may not see that. I guess that's what I'm assuming, I guess,
Right. Yeah. My official response would be expect a hard pull and we require a personal guarantee.
Yeah. Exactly. If you read the fine print, as everybody should, a lot of people do not, unfortunately, when they go through just like even personal credit cards, they just hit submit. They don't read that small fine print, and you should. But, like I point out to a lot of people, especially here recently, there should be no reason as far as you would want a hard pull. I understand, especially if you're in the middle of getting a mortgage, that they tell you not to, get any hard pulls or whatever on your personal credit. But one thing I can tell you is Corpay is pretty generous on their credit lines compared to a lot of these other companies. And as long as you take care of them, they'll take care of you. And, I think they will grow with you. Do I understand that right, Justin? As far as your business growing, as far as increases, how does that go? Like, do you know anything about that? As far as like, if you've been on, say you have a $10,000 initial credit line, 6 months later, can you request a higher increase? Or I'm just trying to think of different questions that I've got already asked in the past.
Yeah, there are processes that we can go down to increase credit lines, and we love when that happens. I do not have specifics around what commitments those are, but I think, Josh, maybe we can take that as a piece of homework to see if there are, kind of official processes that we can lay out. But otherwise, what Josh is saying is correct. We love it when we can do that. And there are a few things that have to be taken into consideration for us to be able to. But yes, is the short answer. We very much like it when businesses are growing. We have an official relationship. We've had a relationship with your business, and we're more than comfortable to give additional lines. So we love it when that happens. It's best for both of us. So we'll take that as homework, Josh.
Exactly. So again, everybody just please comment in the comment section below, because that's the only way we can get back. Justin and Blake will be back for a future video as well to dive in more deeper. But put any and all questions on the comment section. Even if you already have a Corpay card or have the bill pay system, still ask any questions. We've had a few people say they can't get through to the phone number. Keep in mind, the Corpay One site is fairly new, and they have applications like crazy, so they're quite busy. That's why it's taken so long to get these guys on with us. So just be patient, and you will get a response back from them if you just ask the question, and that can only help any company improve, just like even myself. So, but yeah, if you want to show real quick, Justin, the application process, I know you have to do it with a smartphone, if I remember correctly, and you have to move your head back and forth, and it's quite unique, but it's a very quick process. I think it can be done in like 5 minutes. One thing I will let you guys know real quick, if your Experian personal credit happen to be frozen, you're going to need to unfreeze it, because you're not going to get an immediate decision if that is the case, because I've already spoken to a few people that had their Experian personal credit frozen and you didn't get an instant approval. And that's pretty much probably why, because Corpay Fleetcor can't check your credit.
Yeah, and Josh, let's do an application deep dive on a follow-up video, if that's all right. For this account, we've already gotten a line, but I can quickly voice over it. It's very quick. What I'd say maybe to wrap up this call is really one, click the link to sign up using Josh's link so we can support his channel. But once you sign up, there's a couple of things we ask you for. You set up a username, you set up a password, and you come right to a setup screen. And it's really easy to get started, right? We can connect some bank accounts, we can add some bills. There are a few identity verification steps, like Josh mentioned, and those, although a little bit unique, they are almost refreshingly quick. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to get a bunch of emails back and forth to get documents to each other. So it's just a way for us to make sure whoever's applying is who they say they are. And once you're on the setup screen, I'm sure you will not be able to miss it. There is an apply button for the Corpay card. So just know you sign up for the product and the credit application is right inside. So once you get inside, hit apply now. There's 3 or 4 pages of stuff not pages, but 3 or 4 little screens that we ask you for. Most of the time it takes a couple, 2, 3, 4 minutes if you have all the information on hand. And a lot of the times that's all you need. You hit submit, you get an approval and a line. Other times we say, hey, we might need a little bit more time to review, so we'll be right back. But we aim to have as many instant review or instant approvals with a line as possible. Sometimes we need a little bit more, but it's a really painless process. Not to mention, if once you sign up on Josh's link, we will actually have a human reach out to you, where they will offer their time and support to get you up and running, answering questions you have, and really start to unlock some value out of this tool for you. So we really lean into the human-based approach. We think, humans buy from humans, and it's just better when you have somebody who knows the system, who can kind of, one, ask you questions about what might be useful, and 2, show you exactly how to do what you're looking to do.
Yeah, we have quite a few people in the transportation business, and they have some of their Fleetcor cards, but it's nice as far as the Corpay card, if they can use it for hotels or something, over the road. So I think it's, this is a perfect product, and not just transportation, but, like Justin and Blake said, this can be really used for any type of business, So for your different business expenses, and it just kind of helps at the end of the year. You have your QuickBooks, and then you have everything with Corpay. It's easy to have it all together, especially your accountant will appreciate that.
Okay. We'll work with Josh on a few follow-up videos. I'd want to see more and learn more too if I was in the audience. So I think our homework will be application process. We'll try and get some stuff on credit line increase requests. And then I think, Josh, if I were in the audience, I might also want to see how this whole QuickBooks magic works. Like, show me, I'll be Missouri, the show me state on that. So we can show folks exactly what we mean by all the magic that happens.
Definitely.
I really encourage everyone. We're so excited to launch this product. I encourage everyone to sign up and just give it a try. It's one of these products that have 0 commitments to try, and we'll get right next to you and really see if there's back to what we can do, get you some better cash flow, save you some real money, save you a material amount of time, and help build your credit all at the same time. So, otherwise, Josh, thank you so much for having us on the show.
Yeah, no problem at all. I guess one final thing, I did get a few people from that last video saying that they applied, I think back in December, and some of them even applied back before you guys shut down the application process, and they never got any denial or anything. But they log in, it still says pending. So is that just a backlog, or is that something that's getting changed because of the new system? I'm just trying to think as we go along to answer any of these questions that may already be going to be commented right away, just so we can kind of clear the air. And like I said, you guys, please comment in the section below any and all questions. If you're already a customer, if you're not, it doesn't matter. Just ask the questions. That's the only way we can know to improve this.
Yeah, great question. So I'd say if there's any in the audience that have had an app that feels like it's been pending or in some black hole, raise that up, and we can chase those down for you.
Yeah, just email me. I'll have the emails below the links as well, and I'll forward those over to Blake and Justin and get to the right department and figure that all out. But yeah, I think, Justin, do you want to do the QuickBooks on the next video? Kind of break this into a couple series?
Sure. Yeah, we're happy. So I think too, Josh, let's see what the audience has to say in the comment section. If there are particular themes, we'll use that to help guide some of our next videos. But we're excited. This will be hopefully one of many, and we can show anyone what they're interested in, and beyond that, again, just sign up and we can see if it's for you, and use Josh's link to support his channel.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you guys. Like I said, we'll have more videos in the near future. Put any comments in the comment section. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, smash the thumbs up, and I guess with all that being said, I'll give the final words to Blake and Justin if there's anything else you guys want to say.
No, we're extremely happy to be here, and again, just super excited about the product launch. And Josh, we look forward to being in front of your audience again soon.
All right, sounds good. Hey, until next time, you guys take care. I appreciate your time on this video. Bye-bye.
Bye.